twice an All-Star, twice a champion, twice an Olympian.
She definitely knows what she's talking about then.
Facts. The ball is tipped, and we are underway in the WNIT second round in the Summit City. Mentioned the difference in styles. Purdue Fort Wayne, one of the best teams in the country, shooting the three ball. ODU, they're not shy to take that mid-range shot. It's an empty opening possession though.
And you're going to see ODU really push the ball in transition. They're looking to get down the floor quickly, and they will shoot when the shot clock is at 25.
There's the first two for number 5, Audra Emerson.
On the downside, too, I think it's important that they get hot from the beginning just because they have struggled in the past playing a 40-minute game.
Yeah, and one thing that we're going to watch for early on here is just how the Dons come out. Their first game action in 2 weeks.
Yeah, they've definitely, I know they took a little bit of a break there, a couple days off, and I'm sure that the girls needed that to kind of reset, but ODU's coming right off of a win, so it's going to be crucial how the Dons come out right here.
Warren Ross for 2. For the season, believe it or not, a higher shooting percentage from 3 than from 2 by just a little bit, because leading the country from beyond the arc at 47%, which is like 46% on 2s. So Old Dominion had that game Saturday against Navy as the Monarchs try to score inside, but it's no good for Cunningham. Now, one of the challenges of this tournament is travel on short notice. That swirls in for Cindy Freeman.
Being a former Dobo, travel is one of the things that you have to be on top of, and it is a quick turnaround. I mean, you need buses, you need food, you need hotels, and obviously you don't know that until the game's over, so got to be prepared early.
Yeah, as we check out our keys to the game here, presented by Toyota.
Yeah, so Purdue Fort Wayne, they're going to focus on their transition defense just because ODU likes to push in transition. They're going to need to have multiple offensive threats, not just Lauren Ross hitting the ball, hitting the shots. We saw Audra early. And then ODU, they're going to be looking to attack and keep Purdue Fort Wayne off the three-point line.
Which can be easier said than done. After the Monarchs got on the board there with that Fields bucket. So yeah, it was already going to be tough enough for Old Dominion to get here from Norfolk, Virginia to Northeast Indiana to start with, but almost a case of planes, trains, and automobiles. Sunday they bust from campus to Washington, D.C., Ronald Reagan Airport, flew to Detroit. It's about 2.5 hours away from here, and it was about a 3-hour bus ride to get to the airport in D.C. to start with. Technically still within Virginia. Here's that quick transition you were talking about. Down low, Cameron Hill, that's a trap. So already not a convenient trip. Then they finally got into Detroit around midnight or so, waiting for their bags. They're waiting. Finally, they gave up on it. There was some kind of issue going on. They didn't wind up making it into Fort Wayne until about 4 a.m. yesterday. So their clocks could be out of sync here.
Very out of sync, but it's impressive that they're all here ready to play. That's one of the things I think people don't realize that the athletes do, like traveling like that in those long road trips on buses. And some of that stuff you just can't, you have no control over.
That's an offensive foul against Limbo. And it's Cameron Hill drawing the charge. And yeah, certainly there are sacrifices to be made. And you see Hill in that case sacrificing defensively there against Limbo. But yeah, someone like Hill, a grad student, touched on it off the top here with the Mastodons. This is the last go for a lot of these young women, and so they want to leave it all out on the floor tonight. Fields a step back. Misfire, rebound. Ross looking to run. Limbo running the floor. Ross quarterbacks it up ahead. And there's 2.
Yeah, that was awesome. Lauren Ross is not just a shooter. That was a perfect pass, dime right to Jaslyn Limbo.
Long on the mid-range. Offensive rebound, though, and really this is the best offense, arguably, that Old Dominion has. Miss and then crash the glass. They come into this game top 10 in the nation overall in rebounding, but top 5 on the offensive glass.
Yeah, the Dons need to be aware of that. They're definitely going to have to hit and go. You got to find a body.
This time, it's Linbo distributing a dime to Emerson. Seen that a time or two, or a couple dozen times or so over the years.
The quarterback.
3 short, rebound Emerson. Linbo, such a tremendous passer for a post player. Now they reverse rolls, pick and roll, and it's Linbo, puts it in. The passing here on point for the Mastodons early on.
Yeah, and the Dons aren't even looking for a lot of threes right now. They're just attacking the paint and getting exactly what they want, so you might as well keep doing it.
Up by 8, so no rust early on. There's Cunningham, no good on the first try. No good on the second try. Another offensive rebound. That's no surprise, though. And it does lead to second chance points. Buford in the mid-range. And that is exactly what Simone Cunningham does individually. 11th in the country on the offensive glass.
Yeah, that's insane.
Emerson's been hot from the outside of late, but left it short. Mastodon's here with all 12 points from the paint. That was a deep 3. Guess what? Offensive rebound Cunningham.
The Dons are going to need to get a hold of the boards here, or they're going to have an issue, I think.
Trying to box out there. It is a foul called over the back on Cameron Hill. So it's our first Brenda Fontana. The senior from Argentina.
Dons seem to be slowing it down a little bit here.
2 starters, 3 players in off the bench, including Tia Morgan. Threading the bounce pass to Sydney Graber. Shot clock down to 5. And it's stolen. And here's ODU pushing the pace. Floater falls.
And that's that quick transition I was talking about earlier. Like, there was, 25 seconds on the shot clock, and right away they're going to shoot that. And, I mean, it went in, so you might as well keep doing it, but that's something that the Dons need to pay attention to, is they're going to really push in transition.
Yeah, India Buford, all league in the Sun Belt. Reed got a step, and she's fouled. That's on Hill.
I love when Jordan Reed comes off the bench. She brings like a different kind of, she's a dog. So when she comes in, she just brings just a different flow to the game. And she's always, great on defense and attacking the basket all the time. So I think she just brings a little bit more hype to the floor, especially when the girls need it.
Yeah, and how about the job she did closing out the regular season and then the Horizon League tournament? Makes the first free throw here. Over the last 12 games, Reed off the bench, averaging 10 points per game, doing it efficiently for that matter, 55% from the fields. She was named the Horizon League's 6th player of the year and gets 1 of 2. That snapped, though, what was a 6-0 run for the Monarchs. It'll keep it going. There's Clayton. Dons have not made a field goal here in about 3 minutes.
Yeah, they're going to need to look to find Lauren Ross. She's got to get herself open.
Morgan for 2. But yeah, that was definitely a factor in the loss in the Horizon League Championship against Green Bay, where tip your cap to the Phoenix, but they really locked Lauren down,
yes.
And she wasn't able to impact the game like she usually does.
Yeah, and she's a huge factor. Obviously there will be other girls that will score and give points when needed, but you need Lauren Ross to be making some shots.
Not only shoots the 3 at the highest percentage in the country, but 5th in the nation and makes. There's a miss from the foul line, but an offensive rebound for Graber. Strong contest, though. Buford pulls. And it's tipped and plucked by Bromanchenko.
Bromanchenko's another one that's going to have to get going here.
Foul on Reed. Once again, an example of what you've highlighted here with ODU, quick down the floor.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost every single time they're looking to push in transition. Like, they're really not looking to run plays, and they're getting the calls.
And the issue for ODU, which for the season has averaged 67 points per game, is that they had the worst shooting percentage from the fields out of all 14 teams in the Sun Belt.
But we do know off those misses, they're gonna award.
Clayton, a 58% foul shooter, a freshman from Texas. Lone Star State well represented on this ODU roster. One of two, and it's a 2-point game. And now after the make, here's a press. Brenna Schwederman, pretty pass. Lindbo through 2, no call. Monarchs ball. Chance to tie it here, and that's exactly what Cunningham does. Well, we said that Delisha Milton-Jones told her team to play with the self-confidence of a Michael Jordan. Well, in the case of Simone Cunningham, her favorite player, or who she models her game after, is another former champion with the Bulls.
That is Rodman.
Yeah, Dennis Rodman, and now running the floor. Hard to see on your screen right now, but Simone's hair currently dyed navy blue. Jumper short, Mastodon's ball. And so for Cunningham, yeah, she really models herself after Rodman, not only when it comes to attacking the glass with ferocity, but also clothing style, hairstyle.
I mean, she wants to live like that. Like, do your thing, girl.
5 offensive rebounds already ordered. And ODU down 12-4 has equalized. It's in and out for Emerson. And it's Monarchs ball.
Luckily, the Dons here have a chance to get their defense ready. So it's not in transition. So hopefully they'll be able to get themselves situated here.
Montana gets a rest here. It's a pretty deep squad for Old Dominion. On the ricochet, Cunningham with a go-ahead bucket.
The Dons are going to have to figure out a way to contain Cunningham at some point.
Now she's got 4 points to go with those 6 boards. So ODU on the road settling in. They continue to limit Lauren Ross.
Oh.
And it's an offensive foul called from across the court. With 7 seconds left in the quarter.
I think this will be an opportunity, like a good chance for the Dons to get a stop here.
Yeah, the interesting thing on that play is that it looked like there were 2 officials closer to that action than where the whistle came from. Shot clock off here. Monarchs looking to get the last shot of the quarter. It does not go for Buford, but nearly won the regular season in the Horizon League. It came down to the final game. They lost in overtime at Green Bay. Led late in the 3rd quarter against Green Bay in the Horizon League championship game. And then the Phoenix had a late surge to close that out. As now the 2nd quarter underway with Lauren Ross tying it up.
Yeah, and I mean, she took it down there to the post, and like I said earlier, she needs to get herself going. So you might as well start short and make your way out.
Monarchs feed Cunningham. Back iron, no rebound to Lindbo. Sydney Freeman now pushing it down the floor. She pulls off the mark.
We haven't seen a lot of threes this game.
No, we haven't seen any threes go in yet. This is 2025. What's happening? Well, what do you know?
There you go.
That's the reverse announcer's jinx, right? Samara Fields her 64th triple of the season, 7th in the Sun Belt in threes on the year.
And for the Dons, threes is like most of their game. So for them to not be using that right now is very interesting. There.
Starting to heat up. It's Amelia Bromenschenkel.
We just needed to say it.
Tied at 20. And yeah, exactly like you're saying, the Mastodons 8th in the country in three-point shooting percentage, 11th in three-pointers made. On the flip side, yeah, that's not really a strength for Old Dominion, though they do a good job of guarding the arc. Big block by Linbo.
And I think they've shown that. I mean, the Dons really haven't gotten a lot of threes off, so that's obviously one of their strengths.
Linbo 6th in the Horizon League in block shots. As Fontana's back in for Old Dominion. Monarchs have Cameron Hill still on the bench with 2 fouls. Offensive foul, it's Bromenschenkel after hitting the 3 on one side, taking a charge on the other.
And that will definitely be statted on the bench.
Everyone's chasing Lauren Ross, team lead in charges drawn on the year, and that time it's Ross helping Bromenschenkel up. Taya Steinauer has come in off the bench. Ross, open look.
That was a good look, though.
Cunningham, nice pass. Thompson catches, can't score. Reload, foul line jumper, long for Buford, and boarded by Bromenschenkel. 8 offensive rebounds, though, for Old Dominion. On the season, Purdue Fort Wayne has allowed 9 offensive rebounds per game.
Oh, wow.
Foul on the Monarchs, going on Fields, putting Sydney Freeman at the foul line. And glad to see our guy Hunter absorb that one from his position there behind the basket. Sydney Freeman was the leading scorer for the Mastodons in that Horizon League championship game with 18 points. What a phenomenal year for her.
Yeah, absolutely. And everything that she's been through, too. Like, it's awesome how well she's transitioned into her role here at Purdue Fort Wayne.
It's her last go. Trying to make an extended run. Don's trying to get back to the WNIT Super Sweet 16. Super 16, I beg your pardon. All right, Ross drawing her charging. Ross and her last year of eligibility as well. Quickly here signaling that the officials should be going to the monitor to review because there was contact there above the shoulder. You know, it was reported recently that Lauren, who had 2 ACL tears and surgeries impacting the earlier part of her college career, won't be able to get an additional medical waiver. She says she wants to go into coaching. I mean, she could have a pro future playing perhaps,
absolutely,
but also
yeah.
bright future ahead coaching. It's things like that, too, the awareness to try to tell the officials to go to the table right away. That makes it easy to picture Lauren immediately on someone's bench next year.
Absolutely, and she'd be an awesome addition to a bench as well, just because her basketball IQ is so high, and the tips and tricks that she would be able to give those younger athletes.
If you don't know the story, she started out at Western Michigan. There's the runner, good off glass for Fields, and ODU retakes the lead. And Lauren, after those injuries, wound up going to Michigan State. Still not 100% health-wise, but before she committed to Michigan State, she gave Purdue Fort Wayne a look, developed a good relationship with Maria Marquesana. Rebound by Buford, and she runs. Fielder, catch and shoot. In and out. 9th offensive rebound for the Monarchs. Haven't played 14 minutes yet.
It's insane.
Cunningham, a catch inside, turns, and banks it in.
She's a strong body down there. She's backing them down.
Yeah, one thing to understand here, we showed the individual team net rankings, and Purdue-Fort Wayne has the highest net ranking of any team in the field here in the WNIT now. Freeman from the corner. Ross, offensive rebound. Freeman buries it.
I think, too, like, playing against teams that you haven't played against, and we talked about that, but we haven't seen a lot of teams that offensive rebound like ODU does. So this is something that the Dons aren't used to.
Right, and one thing to consider here is that this Sun Belt this year was a stronger conference top to bottom than the Horizon League was. Buford knocks it, or puts ODU back ahead there with the runner. 26-24, almost midway through this second quarter. Ross. The Sun Belt as a collective conference, 13th net ranking wise. Field, step back. 10 offensive rebounds for the Monarchs.
Wow.
And one, Simone Cunningham. She's a force inside. And the 5'10" senior's got a chance for an old-fashioned three-point play.
I said it earlier too, but the Dons have to figure out a way to contain her because she's eating them up right now. On the boards, on scoring, everything. So
the last time the Mastodons were at home was in the quarterfinals of the Horizon League tournament against Wright State, featuring Amaya State, who in her own right is one of the best rebounders in the country. And she was coming off of an absurd 27 rebound game. And she got a double-double, but it wasn't to the level like this where it is really affecting the game.
Right.
Jordan Reed hanging, can't hit. Offensive rebound, Tia Morgan. Roman Schenkel with a shot fake on the drive. Scores from the left side.
Don's definitely taking what ODU is giving them offensively.
And not forcing the three by any means. Thompson. Ross had the rebound. Fielder took it away. Now Reed wins it back. Reed a little head. Jordan Reed shooting 2 after she was fouled before the timeout.
Free throws are something that the Dons can't give up right now, so.
Yeah, Don, 75% at the line on the year, about top 50 in the country. Field scores. Linbo up and under, puts it in. Jaslyn Linbo shooting 56% from the field this season. One of the best individual shooting percentages in Mastodon's history, both this year and for her career for that matter.
And she has a couple jumpers in there. They're not just around the rim.
Okay, obviously, this is a close game here, and the season is on the line, so it's not really a situation to mess around. But we have seen Jazzy knock down a good number of long twos. Shout out Michael Jackson there. Reese Palega getting into it. Well, moonwalk at the end of the bench. I see Reese feeling better after she was under the weather during the Horizon League tournament. This is turning into a 90s party. We've got mentions of Michael Jordan, Dennis Rodman, Michael Jackson, and Jaslyn Linbo with a go-ahead too. But yeah, Jaslyn has not made a 3 in her career, but she seems more than capable.
Yes, I've definitely seen her make a 3 in practice before, so.
Sydney Graber got one last year. Bucket doesn't go but a foul.
Definitely a time and place type of thing, for sure. As far as boxing out goes, if she does happen to miss this free throw, this is a box out that the Dons can't give up, is a free throw box out.
First one in and out for Fontana. .60% foul shooter on the year. Hits it to tie it. What a first half here. Dons got out to that 12-4 lead. Mentioned the travel woes for ODU as the Monarchs here flash a zone. Reed. That was a good look from the elbow. On a rebound now for the Monarchs. Reed almost had a steal. Skip pass, Buford. No, not shy, and she knocks it down. 3 for the lead. So what a response for ODU after they got off to that slow start.
Yeah, and you would not be able to tell that they had all those travel issues before coming here either.
Well, it kind of fits for their season, as that's a Don's turnover, and it's Fields. Fast break, rebound Morgan. And talking with Delisha Milton-Jones, she's described this year as a roller coaster ride. Morgan, floater, gets her own miss. Trying to find Schwederman, but stolen by Fields. Don's fans thought Morgan was fouled. 90 seconds to go in the half, and might be the first time here all evening that ODU is slowing the pace.
Yeah. It got a little chaotic there for a minute, going back and forth, so it's nice to see a little bit of a slowdown, get themselves together.
Fontana fires. Fortunately for ODU this year, they thought they had a Sun Belt Championship caliber squad, but mid-season at one point lost 6 consecutive games. Far worse than that, though, unfortunately. Several members of the team lost loved ones during the season, so they've experienced a great deal of grieving, but now aspiring for, as they put it, greatness. Late shot clock. Rebound by Thompson. ODU a chance to add to this 3-point lead. They haven't led by more than 4. They were up 28-24. Feeding Fontana. She had a mismatch. Rebound Reed. Shot clock off. Schwederman scanning. Fields reached in. Contact, and Reed once more will go to the line. Nothing easy, though.
No, ODU's playing with a lot of fire, both on offense and defense. It just looks like they want to win a little bit more, is kind of how I'm seeing it.
You know, yesterday, hearing from Audra Emerson, part of the senior class for the Mastodons, and she was talking about how you don't want your career to end in a situation in which you feel like you did anything but leave it all out on the floor.
Mm-hmm. And it's totally, you see it at a different perspective when it's your last time as well.
I think a note here, that was a second foul on Fontana, so the 2 primary post players for ODU, both with 2 fouls. Purdue Fort Wayne doesn't have anyone with more than 1. Shot clock off. Buford whips it inside. Doesn't go. And a foul with 2.1 left in the half. Mastodons are in the bonus if it's against the Monarchs, and it is. That is huge. And it's Ross who drew the foul.
Yeah, these are going to be 2 important shots just going into the half.
Chance to tie it up. Don's only 4 of 8 from the line so far as a team. ODU only 2 for 5 at the stripe. And that was on Hill, so that's her 3rd. So they gambled a little bit by bringing her back in. She's their 6th player.
The Dons are going to definitely have to be, see that and take advantage of that coming out into the 3rd quarter for sure.
An nation's best foul shooter hits both. At 94% on the season. Clean look from midcourt. Doesn't drop, and so, just like we started, tied up, 34 apiece.
That's a reason right there to watch women's basketball. Like, if you didn't have a reason before, that is why.
Terrapins team that played here a couple years ago in a non-conference game. Last night they win in double overtime. Sunbelt this year was won by Arkansas State, an upset against James Madison. James Madison now in the WBIT. All right, second half underway. Strong defense from the Dons. Jump ball to win possession. What do you feel like is going to be key here in the second half?
I think, first of all, the first 4 to 5 minutes of this third quarter is going to be really important. But for the Dons, they have to be able to control the boards. Like, they got to be able to box out, and they have to get boards. There's way too many O boards, and they're not even making a lot of their shots on the first opportunity. It's the second and third ones that they're allowing them to get. So
here Limbo has the rebound, shows off the handle. Sydney Freeman puts it in.
I think Sydney Freeman, too, like, has the ability to just change the pace of the game with her speed and quickness.
Yeah, she is terrific. We've had 6 ties, 6 lead changes. Cunningham scores it over Ross. Cunningham there banking it in. So trending towards a double-double. Now has 10 points and 7 boards. 6 of them offensive. Lauren Ross tees it up. Can't connect. She has made as many as 6 threes in a game this season. None so far.
The looks, I mean, the shots she's taking are really good looks. They're just not falling right now.
No basket. Foul called on the floor. Delisha Milton-Jones from the bench right now saying that should be an and one. Maybe in the W, like where she played for almost 2 decades.
She's used to, yeah.
But called on the floor. Turnover. Something to keep an eye on as well. For the season, Old Dominion has averaged 15 turnovers a game. They did a pretty good job of taking care of the ball in the first half. They had, in that first half, only 4 giveaways. But now a couple here early on in the second half. So we've got a break in the, and a really classy program too. It was well-deserved for Jaslyn to win the Sportsmanship Award. In particular, there was that one moment on the road at Youngstown State where unfortunately a Penguins player went down with an injury. As here Freeman fires off the mark. And not only Jaslyn, a lot of members on the team, the entire coaching staff, they went out of their way to go down to the end of the YSU bench that night and wish that player well and root her on in her recovery.
Yeah, and that's important, and that's another thing that, like I just said, like, it's nice that someone noticed that Jazzy's going out of her way to do that too, because she obviously did not have to do that.
Second jump ball here in the first couple minutes and change of the half. This time the arrow benefiting ODU, and that's a turnover. So 4 turnovers in the first half for the Monarchs, and now 4 turnovers in the first 2+ minutes of the second half.
I think the Dons have just ramped up their defense a little bit. I'm not sure halftime was great for them, so.
As Thompson has the interception, Ross with a rejection. More than a shooter.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, that's a lot harder than it looks,
It
right?
is,
to
yeah.
not foul. Clean. Yeah, Kendall, as you were describing your experience before, and we'll hold the thought, Ross racing out. Transition triple, Audra Emerson for the lead.
This is the Dons team that people are used to right here. I think they just had to get in the flow of things.
We saw time and time again during the regular season going on big runs in the second and third quarter, and the defense was usually the difference maker. But they're going up against a different level of athlete here in Cunningham, who grabs yet another offensive rebound. Whips a skip pass. Fontana sending it over to Thompson. Oh, wow. Nice bounce pass and a blocking foul called on Freeman, so Fontana will head to the line.
We're seeing like little moments of the Dons getting back to themselves, but I think overall ODU is just doing a good job at keeping them kind of out of their rhythm and out of what they're used to, just because they're playing such a fast-paced game. And the Dons are normally calling plays every single time down the floor, so I think they're just out of rhythm right now, not playing their normal game.
And you have to recognize that it's Old Dominion and their ability that's causing a lot of that. But yeah, I was going to say, you mentioned before you've had an experience of being in those locker rooms, and so yeah, at times maybe there's some paint coming off the walls.
Yeah. Sometimes it's not all butterflies and roses.
It's not all ice cream being served.
Yeah.
Fontana's got experience playing for Argentina's national team. With the free throws there, and it's a one-point game. Linbo back down. Offensive rebound, Bromanshenkel. She's the program's all-time leader in rebounds at the Division I level. Ross for three. What do you think? The nation's best.
Yeah, I think the Dons definitely needed that to get going, and obviously we got some fans on their feet now, so I think they just needed some momentum.
Yeah, it's a great crowd here on a Tuesday night, and now there's the defensive steal. Ross saving it to Bromanshenkel. Fontana, though, gets on the floor. Open look at a three. Not there for Fields. He's pressuring against Emerson, who thought she was fouled. And now a foul is called. Not only are the students on their feet here, but other fans here increasing the volume.
Yeah, over the time that the Dons have slowly gotten better, I talked about it earlier, but the fan base has increased a little bit. So I think when the game's on the line like this, the fans are definitely going to get more excited and have a little bit more say.
Linbo with 1 foot on the line. It's a two.
Time and place. I guess she felt like it was perfect, and it was. You could hear it with the net when it went in.
String music, and there's Reed aggressive on D. So we were talking about the defense finding a different gear. Usually it's Jordan who's the one that causes that.
Absolutely, yeah. She has a lot of energy that she brings off the bench.
Lost out on Fontana. Cunningham's in a crowd. Foul on Linbo. And yeah, we had said it in the first half. She's capable of making a three. That's probably as close as she's come now.
Yeah, and that was a great shot, and she knows that Coach Marcasano has that confidence in her to shoot that, so I think that helps as well.
Linbo, though, just picked up her second foul, so she's out. Sydney Graber in. Cunningham with the 10 points and 8 rebounds, 7 of which are offensive. 0 for 2 there. Ross has eyes down the floor. Emerson. Yes!
These are the Dons.
It is an 8-0 run for Purdue Fort Wayne. How does ODU respond on the road? They've been a resilient group all season long. Cunningham crashing, but Graber corrals it. Reed trying to cross over. Good hands by Buford. Out of bounds, really, since the start, since the rebuild here. This season in particular, they've been able to blend a returning core with some key pieces, notably Ross, Freeman as well, Tia Morgan's another. Jordan Reed, Taya Steinauer as a freshman. There's Emerson with the left hand, no. Punched outside the perimeter. Ross, shot fake, flips it out, Emerson. Boom!
Audra Emerson is one person you do not want to get hot. I remember in Indy a couple years ago during the tournament when she got going, she
cooked.
She cooked, yeah.
And it's a carry, turnover. And Emerson has been cooking here down the stretch of her career. Last 10 games averaging 10 points, shooting 40% from three. So far in this half, the Macedons as a team, 4 of 6 from behind the arc. Remember, they didn't make it 3 in the first quarter.
Yeah, they definitely, I think at halftime they talked a little bit about offense.
On fire! Lauren Ross's 3 extends the lead to 15.
I think offense was a key piece at halftime in getting to those 3-point shots because that is their game, and I think the girls took that and ran with it.
On a 14-zip run. Long 2. Clayton can't get it. And the Dons also doing a better job rebounding here in the second half. Emerson gets it to Morgan. Corner 3. Heat check. Long rebound, Ross. Needs help.
The Dons are playing with a little bit more fire than they came out with at the beginning, and you know that could be for a lot of reasons, but they did have that like 2-week break, so getting themselves back in basketball shape.
Buford ends the run. Yeah, Coach Marcusano said it was a tough 2-week stretch. First, they took some time off. They were glad to get back together, kind of find their routine, but without knowing the opponent, Roman Schenkel, no good. They had some days where they did vary it up and have maybe just a shooting day or just a scrimmage day. Thought I saw something from an Instagram story that looked like pickleball.
Yeah, I did. Yes, I definitely. They played some pickleball. I know that.
Roman Schenkel, got it.
They're definitely making up for all the threes they didn't hit in the first half.
The Dons are going off here in the third quarter. Buford with a long 2. Iron Unkinds. And they'll stay at this end. What an eruption here in the third quarter by Purdue Fort Wayne. Substitutions here. Ross raising her arms as she goes to the bench. A terrific crowd on hand here tonight. And that's really cool to see them understand the moment and give that extra love. Foul on Schwieterman trying to contain the speedy Fields. Schwieterman said, hey, she pushed off, but call goes the way of ODU here. 1:31 left in the quarter.
Yeah, ODU looks like they're slowing it down a little bit, which I'm a little surprised just because in the first half, I mean, they had it tied at halftime, and it was because they were pushing the ball. So I'm a little surprised that they're slowing the ball down as much as they are.
Foul on Limbo, her third. Yeah, I mean, it feels like, to some degree, Old Dominion a bit shocked because, to reiterate, strength of Purdue Fort Wayne three-point shooting, but strength of Old Dominion for the season is their ability to guard the three-point line. We'll have to flip through, but I'm not so sure anyone has necessarily blitzed them like this from three-point distance in a quarter all season. They played a tough schedule. They played against Ohio State, at NC State, and the Sun Belt, definitely a quality conference, but this is something else.
Yeah, and I know they focused on that coming into the game, like guarding that three-point. So I'm wondering if like they kind of lost focus of the little details there for a little bit, and the Dons are making them pay for it.
Romanchenko from the corner. Offensive board, Morgan. Limbo. Thought she might launch it. Turnover. Well, here's a chance for Old Dominion here to try to get some momentum heading into the fourth quarter. This feels like a key possession for him.
Absolutely.
Fontana, no good. Romanchenko doesn't settle on the drive. What a take.
Amelia Romanchenko is kind of coming out this third quarter out of her shell here a little bit.
Doesn't want her career to end yet. And she really picked things up down the stretch of the season herself, averaging 13 points per game over the last 7. Shot clock off for Schwieterman. She launches from the logo. Still a few seconds to spare.
Yeah, the Dons need to stay consistent here from what they did in the third quarter, for sure.
Yeah, got to still have that kind of urgency that they came out of the locker room with. And you know ODU is going to display that here. It's their season here on the brink, coming off of that phenomenal performance Saturday against Navy, 21-point win.
Yeah, it could potentially be the last 10 minutes of your basketball career, so we're going to see some fire.
Romanchenko on a mission, she got fouled. Foul on Buford. She's in the club with Hill with 3 fouls.
Beautiful and perfect.
It's gotten under the radar because Lauren Ross literally leads the country in free throw shooting, but Romanchenko not too shabby at 87%. A steal for Freeman. And a travel called.
When I was with the team, Amelia Romanchenko does not leave the gym until she makes 10 free throws in a row. But every time, all the time. So it's definitely paying off for her. Wow,
yeah. Romanchenko dialed in on D. Had a deflection and a stuff. There's a whistle in there. A moment ago, could hear Amelia shriek when she was surprised at the travel call. I didn't hear the whistle here at the other end. Maybe it was more of a gasp, actually. A dramatic gasp on the subtitles. I think that's what it would come up as.
Yeah, for someone that doesn't show a ton of emotion.
I wanted to gasp when I heard that from her.
Sometimes her facial expression.
Cunningham shooting 2 after Lindbo's 3rd foul. So Cunningham, who averages 9 points, team best 7 rebounds, already above those numbers with 11 and 9, 12 and 9. Freeman on the floor, jump ball. Some grit there from Sarah Hammock Fitzgerald. No lounging for Hammock Fitzgerald. Playing hard here in her minutes off the bench. Another deflection for Romanchenko.
You're right, she's dialed in right now, that's for sure.
Jordan Reed, blow by, and the bucket. And the Dons are up by 20. Cunningham hangs, can't hit. Morgan muscles the rebound. Morgan, little hezzy, little Euro. No good off glass. And a rebound for Buford. Dons just seem to be oozing confidence ever since those threes started to go down.
Everything's just kind of going right for them right now. Yeah, I think they just need to see a couple go in. But, I mean, that made their defense better. Their offense has been moving a lot more well.
Reed, too fast for him! Dons up 22, timeout. Dig deep now. He has more than clear the mind, catch their breath too.
Yeah, they play a very fast-paced game.
And one. Simone Cunningham, no quit. You know, it's funny how sometimes in sports, our vocabularies and stuff can be different than in everyday life, because if you're walking down the street and you told someone that they're grimy, that wouldn't sound like a compliment, but when Delisha Milton-Jones, the head coach at ODU, Emerson no good for three. When she says that about her player, it's a term of endearment.
Right.
Junkyard dog. Another one to describe Cunningham, who's got the double-double. Graber here double-teamed. Passes out of it to Reed. That's her shot.
That's her shot, yes. One you don't see very often with Maria Marquesano's style of play, but Jordan Reed does hit that shot.
Yeah, she's
normally.
the exception where she's not a three-point shooter for this roster. Reed rebounds, trapped.
And I think that's one thing I love about watching Jordan Reed. Like, she doesn't do all the fancy stuff that people would look at, like score and things like that, and break people's ankles. And she just does all the extra stuff that is needed, but doesn't get normally a lot of attention.
Winning player. Buford with a block. Still 12 on the shot clock for the Dons. Romanchenko carving through Felt on Thompson. Really balanced scoring here for the Mastodons tonight, by the way. 5 in double figures, led by Ross with 15.
And that was one of the offensive keys that I talked about at the beginning, was having multiple offensive threats. Like, sometimes you might just have Ross hitting or just have Audra hitting. So it's nice when there's multiple people that they need to pay attention to on defense.
It's like you came up with a lesson plan and it was executed.
Love when that happens.
Glad that spring break is going on, so we're able to steal you away from your
Absolutely,
otherwise
yes.
responsibilities as a teacher. Big roar as Romanchenko checks out. Best crowd of the year here, no question. Atchison, high arc or no. And it belongs to the Dons.
Yes, I've said it before, but if you win, people show up, and I think this is just awesome for, you know, the city of Fort Wayne to show up for the girls like this and be a part of the transformation of the program.
Should the Dons wind up with any more home games, hopefully the place is completely packed. They more than deserve it.
Absolutely,
It's been awesome to see really the nationwide trend of more and more support for women's sports. If you're tuned in right now, it's because everyone watches women's sports, especially here in this state, a couple hours away from where Caitlin Clark calls home now.
Yeah, it's very hard to get tickets to an Indiana Fever game. I live like 20 minutes from Gainbridge, and they're sold out a lot of the time.
Yeah. Most of the Fever's road games now are being moved to NBA-sized arenas. And now Reed gets the big applause, and that's a cool moment right there with assistant coach Wayne Krieger. His first year with the Dons. Not his first year on a sideline, though. A Hall of Famer in this state.
I did notice he has a pretty big championship ring on his hand there.
And, of course, Maria Marquesano, Horizon League Coach of the Year. She's quick, though, to deflect that to the rest of her staff, and they should be highlighted. Stephen Asher as the associate head coach, Jasmine Geist, now her 4th year on the bench with the crew as well. Quincy Cunningham, mainstay here for a few years, and Shayla Sellers making the transition from one of the GOATs playing for Purdue Fort Wayne to becoming a staff member, and then mix in Coach Kriegs.
Yeah, there's a lot of basketball knowledge sitting on that bench right there, that's for sure.
Technical against Old Dominion. So Emerson shooting 2. So the technical on top of the foul on Buford. And number 5 makes all 4.
It's so awesome to see someone like Audra Emerson enjoying moments like this, because she came in again before Coach Marquesano was here, so she's been part of the turnaround.
Ella Riggs enters. 3 and change to go. This was a tie game at halftime. Old Dominion led at the end of the first quarter. It's a steal for Atchison. Look out, Zach Roth, if you're in Northeast Indiana. You can catch the highlights on 21 Alive later. Be able to catch the highlights on Wayne 15 and Fox 55 as well. Local media here in Fort Wayne has done an A+ job in covering this Macedon's women's program. Extending also on the radio at 1380 The Fan and the newspaper, the Journal-Gazette. Schwieterman tees it up. It connects! It is all Dons!
You have girls like Schwieterman come off the bench and nothing's different. I mean, she's doing exactly what the starters are doing.
Fielder splashes for
that's
ODU.
hitting shots, yeah.
And here an official's whistle for more subs. Reese Palega, Maddie Gears in the game. Dons had been on a 13-0 run before Hamaya Fielder knocked that down.
With ODU pressing too, this is going to give some of these younger Don girls an opportunity to get used to playing at this type of level.
Yeah, and with 6 players on the roster set to graduate and have no more eligibility, there will be opportunities for some to step up next year. As Riggs will go to the line. Bottoms there for Riggs. the transfer from Furman, who grew up a few hours away in Cincinnati. Another one for Fielder. There are reports that the winner of this game will host Butler on on Friday at 7. Timeout called by the Macedons here just to try to make sure this second unit can handle the pressure that the Monarchs continue to apply. So the winner, looks like Purdue Fort Wayne, will be home Friday at 7 o'clock against Butler. And so, yeah, looks like it'll be a fun in-state matchup. The Big East will come visit the Horizon League, as Butler once was a Horizon League member.
Yeah, that'll definitely be a cool matchup. And I know Austin Parkinson coaches at Butler, and he used to coach at IUPUI. So that'll be cool for them to him to come back to the Horizon League with being familiar with it. And
kind of adding to the storylines, of course, Maria Marquesano, Butler, class of 2005, formerly on that IUPUI staff. So a lot of familiarity there.
A lot of connections, yes.
And, okay, this is just where my brain goes as like a broadcasting nerd. This building is called the Hilliard Gates Sports Center. So Hilliard Gates, legendary broadcaster, not only in Fort Wayne, but throughout the state of Indiana back in the day. And his voice is actually included in the famous Hollywood movie Hoosiers, which was filmed at Hinkle Fieldhouse, home of the Bulldogs. So there's another connection. Since it is almost a 30-point game here in the last couple of minutes, and now I'm just down the rabbit hole here of talking media-related things. WOWO Radio in Fort Wayne, 100th birthday, anniversary. That's pretty cool. Reese Palega, big hustle. It's a good look for Gears too.
Yeah.
Prior.
Absolutely, and like we said earlier, like this just gives them really good experience at playing at this level and in these type of games.
Well, this Purdue Fort Wayne program so impressive. Now, earlier today it was also announced that 4 members of the team have made the academic all-district team for the college sports communicators. Ross, Bromanchenko, Reed, and Emerson.
Not just hoopers. They got other good qualities.
As a team, 3.64 GPA in the fall. Lauren Ross and Maddie Gears both 4.0s. Schwaderman off the dime from Morgan. 30-point game, 35 seconds left. And for Old Dominion, again, they experience a lot of adversity this year. Big block by Palega. Second chance points, though. And now the shot clock is off. Old Dominion continues to press for some reason.
I don't know if you noticed, too, the Don's bench is really into it, too, and that's cool. Just seeing the girls at the end of the bench get in, and then the starters still getting excited for them as well.
Fully engaged. There's a steal. There's a last push. Thompson for 2. Final score, Purdue Fort